Yo guys, I'm so happy today. Actually, thank you for tuning into this week's episode of Munchies Weekly. But guess what? My team have absolutely smashed it. Anna and all her management crew at Munchies London Road have only gone and done it, haven't they? 5-star hygiene rating. Now in this video, I'm gonna show you how to get a 5-star hygiene rating, like the boss. Let's go. So guys, the most important part of getting a 5-star hygiene rating is to have FSA's own hygiene book, which is the Safer Food, Better Business for caterers, right? You need this book in the premise at all times. Now, essentially what this book does, it tells you how you should do things, how you should handle raw meat, how you should handle fish, how you should handle allergens, etc., etc. Now, let me give you an example, right? Staff should change aprons after working with raw meat, poultry, eggs and unwashed vegetables. Now, what it also does is it tells you why that should be done, and then you have to go on and write down what you actually do. So for example, here we've wrote down, we wear long black aprons in the kitchen and we wear wash down leather aprons for raw meat. Now, essentially what the hygiene visitor is looking for is, okay, you wrote that down. When we come down, is that actually what's happening? In the marking scheme for the 5-star hygiene rating, confidence in management, that's one of the things as well. So if as a manager, you've written these down, already it's like, this place is not all that, it's a bit dodgy, right? Let me give you another example. It says allergens, yeah? Food allergens. It gives you a whole explanation about how to prepare allergens and how to make sure, you know, customers with allergies, how you're preparing food for them, right? So we wrote down, as per customer request, we prepare food using different preparation equipment, such as different tongs, different knives, different boards, and ingredients dependent on the order, and we'll also do it in a separate location, in a separate place in the kitchen, right? Just so that there's no cross-contamination at all. Now again, we've written that, that's all good. I mean, you know, it's like copying on an assignment, isn't it? We've all done it, right? But do we actually know what we've written down on that assignment is the question. So the hygiene visitor will come and they'll go into the kitchen to see if that's actually what is happening. And there's many things. It covers how you should freeze things, what your cleaning schedule should be, etc., etc. But what we do, because we're Munchies and we've got an amazing team here, right? Hannah and the whole squad here are fantastic. So what we've done is, and Shah, by the way, Shah actually started this off, so all the credit to Shah, who's in Bangladesh right now. We've got our own sort of hygiene book and we've taken it one step further. So we still use this is still, you know, we monitor this, but we've taken it one step further. This has got all the sort of certification of all the managers in Munchies have a level 2 food hygiene certificate. They've all been on training, so that's all in there. Now what we've done is we've taken it a step further. We have created our own sheets and certain temperatures that people normally do, let's say once a week, we do it every single day, yeah? Let me just give you an example of what we do. When the manager comes in the morning, the first thing they do, yeah, is to make sure to check all the fridges and freezers are working correctly. They'll look at the temperature that's on the display outside, and then they'll note it down, right? So if you see here, the morning manager on that day wrote down that the main fridge was 3 degrees, okay? And at night time, when they did it in the PM, it was 2.3 degrees, my bad. And then the freezer in the morning was minus 21, in the evening it was minus 21 as well. So the reason why we must do that is before the day even starts, we need to check, are our fridge freezers working correctly? Because they've had meat and food items in there overnight. Now, if the fridge and freezer are not working correctly, then, I mean, your meat's gonna be off. You need to throw everything away. Every single item, you need to be gone into the bin and you need to restart. You're probably gonna have to open the store late as well, right? Whatever's in that fridge. That's why it's absolutely key. So another thing we do is we monitor our hot holding temperature. This is another thing you have to do. So hot holding temperature is 63 or above, you're right? It needs to be that. So for example here, the hot holding temperature of wings was 82 degrees and diced chicken was 83 degrees, right? At the 30-minute mark. And then we've got the time when, you know, whatever diced chicken was left that we didn't use, we discarded it, we threw it in the bin, and then the person signed for it as well. So nice and controlled. Another thing is freshly cooked temperature. The freshly cooked temperature is 75 degrees. Right? So meaning when, for example, we're frying our chicken fillets, when they're cooked, we take them out, they need to be 75 degrees or above. So what we do is, when the fillets come out, we stick a probe inside it, make sure it's a nice, sanitized probe, clean probe, put it inside, and then we'll leave it in there until it hits a temperature above 75 degrees, right? Now, if it doesn't, and let's say it hits 73 degrees, that means that fillet is not cooked, and that needs to be thrown back into the fryer, continue to cook. However, I don't think that's ever happened at Munchies. So if you look here, 1 o'clock, the fillet temperature was 86 degrees when it came out. The rice temperature was 84 degrees, which is all good, which is all fantastic. Another very important thing that we do, right, which you guys at home may think is a bit extra, we check the temperature of the van that delivers food to us, that delivers the stock to us. We check the temperature in that van. Before we accept the delivery, one of the managers will go out to the van and have a look at the temperature that's in the van. They'll have like a sort of display in there, right? Reason why we do that is, well, what if the chicken was at 20 degrees, right, in a van that's not refrigerated and is traveling at 20 degrees? That meat's probably already off before it gets to you, okay? Now that's not on. We will only accept meat that's at 5 degrees or below, okay? So that's another key thing we do. Again, that's been written down, and we've got our other various checks as well. But essentially, look, there's no harm in going above and beyond, right? As a business, we like to go above and beyond for our customers, and for hygiene standards as well, we like to go above and beyond at all times. So guys, I'm gonna take you over to the fridges now, and I'm gonna show you, how we do our date labeling in the fridge. But before I do that, let me show you something else. These are the things you need to think about, yeah? So for example, if you look at our Lotus, right? This is our Lotus, we scoop it out with that spoon. The spoon's in there, there's no problem with that, yeah? As long as the lid is closed. But if you look at our Nutella, the lid is closed, but the spoon is not inside it. The spoon is here. Now, you may ask, why is that? Why do you do that, right? Now, the reason why we do that is, if the spoon is in the Nutella jar can't close. So if we can't have the lid slightly open. The lid can't be slightly open, it must be closed. Reason being is, Nutella has nuts in it, right? It has nuts in it, so that must be closed at all times, because if someone's got a nut allergy that has, let's say, a Lotus milkshake, and the Nutella transfers over somehow, look, it's impossible for the nut to kind of transfer in thin air. However, things may happen, right? So let's just try to be perfect, and let's keep it closed, and we'll never ever have that issue of cross-contamination. So just think like that with your food establishment, with wherever you guys are. You may have a restaurant, you may have a takeaway, or whatever it is, right? Or even as a customer, you should be looking out for these things. How is the business's cross-contamination measures? How is it, right? Because look, you really don't want to be eating at a place, especially if you have an allergy, right, where they don't take this sort of stuff seriously as well. And actually, talking of allergies, let me show you something else. This is our allergen sheet. Every single item is here. Every single item, right, that we serve. And essentially, you can look at the item and be like, okay, has that got that allergen in it? Meaning, if a customer asks, oh, I want to have the crispy cod, but I'm allergic to egg. Can I have the crispy cod? Our staff may not know off the top of their head. So all they got to do is turn around and have a look at this. So let's find out. Crispy cod, does it contain egg? Yes, it does, right? Crispy cod contains egg because the bun that it comes in has egg in it. Fantastic. So that customer won't go for that option, and they'll order somewhere else, and then we can advise customer, oh, I can't have egg. What else can I have? Okay, let's go down here, right? Okay, you can have chicken loaded fries. You can have doner loaded fries. You can have loaded stir-fried doner. So, guys, before I show you our date label policy, follow me in. I'm going to show you the date label itself, right? So, for example, in these tubs, we've got some items of food. This is a fridge, by the way. It's kind of cold in here, actually. Now, for example, like these are phantom honey tubs, yeah? These are hot chili tubs. Every single item, every single thing that goes into the fridge has a date label on it. Everything. There's not one thing that goes into the fridge that doesn't have date label. That's key, right? Remember that. You've got garlic mayo here. Name. You may ask, why do we write the name of the person? It's all about accountability. Tomorrow we come in, we see the garlic mayo doesn't taste that great, or it's new garlic mayo mixed with old garlic mayo, and there's an issue with it. We're able to trace that back to the person that did it, and we can say, look, don't do that again, X, Y, and Z. Garlic mayo, Mohammed did that one, and the date that it went in there is the 30th of the 6th. The date that it's going to get discarded is on the 3rd. However, these will get used up in a day, but you still have to date label, and you still have to write down, okay, they've got 4 days life on it, or 3 days life on it, right? you still have to do that. This is our sort of date labeling system. It says, you know, what item it should be, how you should write your name, and the dates it is, yeah? So for example, you know, what you should do, how you should remove the old label before you stick a new label on. And essentially, it's all there. We follow a system, making sure it's nice and tight. Key thing, yeah, that you must do in your kitchen, FIFO, first in, first out. That means new stock goes to the back, old stock comes to the front. There must be an adequate system of stock rotation so that old stock is always getting used first and new stock goes to the back. Because the last thing you want is to be using new stock and all your old stock's going out of date in the back, right? And then if you've got some dodgy systems that aren't even checking all that, then for all you know, they're gonna be out of date. Customer may end up having it and it's gonna be bad news. So make sure, FIFO, stay on top of it. Use the stickers that we had in the, that you just saw here, the use first labels, okay? Stick them on so when your staff walk in, they know what to use first. Make it simple for them. So guys, look, just to summarize, make sure your hygiene books you're on top of them, okay? Everything that's in your Safer Food, Better Business book is up to date and is bang on. Have your own separate systems as well, like ours. If any of you business owners that want to have a look at that, just comment down below with your email address. We'll send it out to you. And just be on top of hygiene. It's so, so important, especially post-COVID, right? We need to be on top of everything. And it really shouldn't be anything less than a 5-star, okay? So on that note, take care. Thank you very much for watching. And until next time, bye-bye.